Hi, this is your weekend Taru. Just letting you know that I love you. God does too. God created you first. He created us upon His image, and the image of them, He created us both male and female. With that being said, I want to speak briefly about Adam and Eve. I want to speak about them being in the garden. I want to speak about when He says, "Who told you that you were naked?" They were in their spirit form. God then made fig clothes, which is also known as the skin. It clothed the skin. It clothed the spirit to be like a holder, a container for your spirit. Okay. When that had happened, He then told them that He was going to give them certain types of life lessons. I will put an enemy between the two of them. And this is not really a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you need to really pray and meditate about what it is that He's really speaking of. Okay, it says that the flesh war against the spirit. We're made of both flesh and spirit. That is our own self. Our enemy is actually our thought. It's our mind. It's our brain. He tell you to choose life and not death. Okay, things that cause you to decay. Our spirit, we can either grieve it or we can cause it to manifest. Alright? We do these things by helping others, by loving ourselves, by, keeping up our hygienes, by protecting those whom we love, or standing up for the rights of others. It's a many of things that you can do, but most of all, God wants to manifest the things that's already inside of you. Okay? There are things that's already equipped. Okay? For example, He told Adam to go ahead and just name all the animals. Where did his thought process come? How did he know how to name what kind of animals? And why did He choose those names for the animals? You know what I'm saying? We are created from the Creator. Okay? With that being said, we have the power to be able to create and choose whatever we actually desire. It's all about knowing how to encompass this within us. The Bible is a beautiful compass on how to live a most glorious life. Of course, everything is not going to be beautiful and sunshine. We're also made of the flesh. That's made of stardust and, things that limits the spirit from moving. But our mental well-being is of spirit. We also have to think about our Christ consciousness. I'm not going to get deep into that. I'm going to speak about that on another video. But as of now, I want you to understand that when He was speaking of the serpent and him being at war with the woman, that is mainly our own brain. That's our left side brain and our right side brain. But how to encompass it, it says when these two agree, then I am in a midst. That means that you have to meditate, pray, fast, sustain from certain types of things that limit you from having a true understanding of what type of beautiful things are within you, and bring it to reality. So once you think and pray on it and get to understand what it is that is of the spirit, meditation is more of the spirit. Okay, then we have to bring it to the material realm, which is also known as the earth. Okay. When we agree on the things that we truly want and desire, what a man thinketh, so shall it be, so it is, things like that, then it comes naturally. The only thing sometimes that could hurt or hinder us is our intents and our deeds. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to reap repercussions for the things that we send out into the earth, into the world, into the universe. You know what I'm saying? And we have to get an understanding of these things that we can clean and clear. Another thing that you need to understand is that we are here to doctors speaking of, that person is a drunkard or addict because it runs in their family. Their grandpa was one, their great grandfather was one, the great great grandfather was one. But with the same token, you have to understand that you also need to know that your great great greats was also pharaohs and kings and gods and queens and Greek goddesses and Atlantean goddesses, and these are all people who are also inside your genetics, your DNA. What is it that they want to release? What is it that they need to unleash? They are already, ready to unleash the God-given gifts that they have impregnated in you, inside of you with your DNA. You know, you can't let them stay dormant. You can't hold them hostage. Okay. So you have to understand that the same way that they say that runs in that those are genetics, you also have genetics that can bring forth, you know, great fortune, great healers, great whatever it is that you practically wish. You know, just remember that we speak life and death. You know, the power is upon the tongue. God said choose life. So be mindful and careful on the things that you say and the things that you do. You know, the intent of our hands. It says, you know, heaven is at hand. You know what I'm saying? We got to be careful with the things that we do with our hands and our pathway of where we walk. You know, we have to pray for our feet. Make sure that it's steadfast on things that is going to create stability, love, life, happiness, joy, prosperity. Okay, I just want you to understand that you are loved. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible is not hypocritical to anything. Alright, it's our lack of understanding because we choose not to meditate and pray upon the words that are spoken thereof. Was there a Jesus that walked among us? Of course there was a Jesus that walked among us. Of course there is a bloodline of Jesus Christ. Of course you have a Christ consciousness. You know what I'm saying? You are a God. You are a goddess. Okay? The same gifts that Jesus Christ have, you have too. It's all about understanding who you are. Okay? So, you know, wake up. Shake the dust off your feet, your hair, your nails, or whatever else that is trying to hold you or try to penetrate into your sacred knowledge or wisdom. And take back your power. You know what I'm saying? That's black, white, yellow, red, green, orange. You know what I'm saying? Does not matter. Before y'all start going to war about, you know, they stole our history and, you know, nobody stole your history. It's all about you getting an understanding of who you are. They've been saying it for a very long time. It's all throughout the music industry, and I'm speaking of the African Americans mainly at this time. They got the eye raw. Y'all call it the evil eye. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the 666s or whatever when they put their fingers and stuff up, but that's actually ancestral etheric cords, the diamond. You know what I'm saying? That is more like your Kundalini energy, your sacred chakra, your Sahara chakra. It's just that some of the things that is given unto you, y'all are accepting it so that it can be misused and directed into a way that demonize what is actually your very blessings. You don't run from the things that God is giving you. Don't be like Jonah. You know what I'm saying? You embrace these things and you change it. It says I will make the evil turn to good. You know how to transmute these things, okay? Alright? So don't say that anything has ever been taken from you or whatever. Ooh, they're going into certain types of lodges and all these kind of things. You have to pray unto these things. Pray unto your God, your goddess and stuff like that, and get understanding what is it that God is really trying to speak to me through some of these music. Yeah, some of it is dark because they're, you know, they're choosing, you know, worldly possessions, and we're all going to choose some form of worldly possessions, but it's the intent. It says, you know, for the love of money is the root to evil, but it's what you do to get that money. You know what I'm saying? How much do you love that money? What are you willing to do for that money? And are you understanding of the rewards or the consequences of it? Okay, so I want you to understand that the same way that you dug a hole and fell in it is the same way that you can dig yourself, you know, out there. I will give you a way of escape. Alright, but you have to go within. You have to awaken your God. You have to awaken your goddess from within. Okay? I love you, and God does too.